Are you aware that Biafra has marked out your state as one of the states of the Republic of Biafra? No, relax. You in the north, you in the southwest. Are you aware that IPOB has mapped out your state to be one of the states of Biafra Republic? Now, PANDEF is now helping you to perform your responsibility. PANDEF is calling on Biafra to remove our state from the list of states they will be adding to Biafra states.
The saying that those who failed to learn from history would repeat it is instructive about some issues bedeviling Nigeria. A socio-political group representing the Niger Delta, the Pan-Niger Delta Forum PANDEF, has told Biafra agitators to desist from including communities in the region and the South-South geopolitical zone in their secessionist agenda. The national youth leader of PANDEF, Domben Doyega, emphasized that the Niger Delta is not part of Biafra Republic and will resist any further attempts to associate the region with such plans. He said the continued inclusion of PANDEF areas or communities in the so-called Biafra Republic is provocative and tantamount to an insult on the leaders of the Niger Delta region. BKO, first of all, what do you make of the stern warning issued by PANDEF to the Biafran agitators?
Oh, yes, I think that it was the right thing to let them know that this is wrong. You cannot proceed with your plan to carve a state out of the Nigerian state and still now bring in unwilling partners in the whole agenda. And what happened during the Civil War cannot be forgotten easily. Some of these people were conscripted.
Yes, we
against
heard that.
their will, they had to fight against the Nigerian state.
True.
The former minister of state for power, Jerry Agba, was a child soldier. You know, Jerry Agba is from Cross River State. He was from the Obudu area.
Okay.
He was a child soldier during the war against his wish. People were conscripted and made to fight on the side of Biafra. So many of them have not forgotten, and people have had stories told to them that, look, this was what the way the war went. Many people don't want to see any war. And as far as they are concerned, what IPOB is doing amounts to beating the drums of war. Okay. And if you want to, you want to realize the Biafra dream, then you have to talk to people. You cannot incorporate them in the Biafra map without their buy-in. Look at Kogi was mentioned, for example, that Kogi is part of, they said that is the Igala-speaking part of Kogi, that's Kogi East.
Okay.
That they are part of Biafra.
How?
When did you discuss with them? Did they agree to?
Exactly.
I've never seen where you just decide that, okay, we want to put Igala people in Biafra without their buying. Did they agree? You have Edo State as well, included. You have Cross River. You have Bayelsa as part of the old Biafra. Now they are saying that at least 13 states, which means that by the time you add rivers, there are 5 states of the Southeast now. By the time you add rivers and some of the states that we talked about, they have 13, and they've created states and capital already, because I watched the thing. And some of those states are so close by that you can drive through them in a matter of minutes. You know, a state capital here, another state capital here, you know, you can drive. So I don't understand what is going on. As much as we need to address the root cause of the agitation for a Biafran state, which is the marginalization of the people of the Southeast, especially political marginalization. We cannot deny that it's been there. We have to get our friends on the Southeast to realize that it pays to remain
as one Nigeria.
As one Nigeria. It pays. But those grievances have to be addressed. For example, since 1999, the Southeast has neither produced a vice president or a president of our country. In the past, they produced the Senate president.
Yes.
But even then, even that one is now a long time ago.
Yeah, true. Long time ago.
Yes.
True.
I think Adolfo Swabara. Ken Nnamdi. Yes. That's in 2006 and 2007. Ken was there when Obasanjo was plotting third term. But he keeps saying that he didn't want third term.
But let's not go there. But Bika has talked about what is fueling the continuous. What can the government do to calm the frail nerves? A national conference again?
Let me start by saying that those agitating for Biafra, including people from the South, they are delusional. Why? Because they are mistaking the whole eastern region for the state of Biafra. They are two different entities. Before, in the First Republic, we have the northern region, the western region, then later the midwestern region, and the eastern region. So most of the south, excluding Edo, that went to midwestern region, were in the eastern region. So when they were agitating for Biafra, those people in the eastern region who do not really agree with what we were doing had no choice because they were in that region. In fact, that was what led to the creation of states.
Yes.
That's what led to the creation of states, because states has to be created to be able to bring those people out from those regions. So you cannot come now and say that some people, that's delusional. That's number one. Number two, I believe that we have problems in the country. But it's still better for us to live together. What we have is a Catholic marriage. I can't see any divorce. We have passed that stage where we can have divorce. It's not possible. How do you begin to separate people in Nigeria? Where do you start? How will it end? So it's a Catholic marriage. Even in every region, people can decide to say they want to be on their own. So we end up with about 50 countries. So that will not work. That's the reality.
You don't think a national conference...
The national conference will not
like
solve the problem. We have done the national conference severally.
You think
we've done national conference. What we should do is to right the wrongs, at least the ones that are visible.
At least the ones that are visible.
For example, when you look at each geopolitical zone, the Southeast does not have the amount of states that other regions. So we can start by that by saying that it's about
giving them that one state.
Yes.
Create another
most
state.
Other regions have 6. So we can say, look, it is not fair for this region to have 5 states when the other regions have 6. Even another region has 7. So let us start with that and create a state to say, okay, let us have 6. But apart from that, for the other political something, it is true that we don't have somebody from the Southeast region as vice president or president. But that's not the fault of anybody. Democracy is about numbers. They have to play their, because with all respect to politicians from the Southeast, they don't play their politics well. And if you don't play your politics well, you will not be able, you must be able, politics is about interest. And you have to convince other people to go with you. You must be able to convince them. You cannot use sentiments to say, no, we have not produced presidents all these days. You are being unfair to us. We must produce president. That's not how democracy works.
If
democracy is about numbers.
If Atiku had won the election in 2019, that duck would have been broken. And Peter Obi would have been vice president. But Atiku didn't win the election, and Obi didn't remain in PDP. Obi felt that it was an insult to remove him as leader of the party in Anambra State and put Chris Uba. So he left in annoyance to join the Labour Party to actualize his presidential ambition. And once that happened, his supporters moved with him to the Labour Party. Okay. It also cost Atiku president. Exactly. Because if Atiku had received the kind of votes that the Southeast gave Peter Obi, there is no way he wouldn't have defeated Asue Ighodalo Martin Amaewhule. You know, so, but what I also cannot say at this point is whether if Atiku made Peter Obi vice presidential candidate, whether his supporters, whether Obi supporters will be
that is the thing, because the circumstances are different.
Because people pushing for them to work together, who have been really excited by the meeting and Yola, what they fail to realize is Atiku supporters, Peter Obi supporters, believe that it has to be Peter Obi,
of course,
or nobody else.
Or nobody.
And he knows. I'm sure that Peter Obi knows that. That's why even so he's doing his best not to anger his base, his own power base. Exactly. So if he agrees to work with anybody, then that person should be ready to make him
number one,
presidential candidate. So people are saying, why, for example, should Atiku continue to look for the presidency when he's been contesting since 1992?
But that's a fact.
You know, so that why can't he agree, for example, that, okay, Peter, I will back you, instead of wanting Peter again to be his deputy. If they come together and they agree for Peter Obi to be his deputy, they are not going to get the kind of votes that Peter Obi got in the last election. To imagine that they will get that voice to be delusional. Yeah. The reason the Igbos gave that much votes to Peter Obi was because they saw the possibility of an Igbo presidency as represented by Peter Obi.
Yes.
But if he becomes
the number two
to anybody,
it's a different
Igbo presidency is not likely to happen.
It's a different
so the kind of energy with which they back the Obi presidency, they are not going to give that kind of energy if Atiku and Obi again agree to work together. And even all of this is a matter of
because
conjecture.
They worked together before.
Yes,
and the time they worked together because it's running mate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes. They didn't win. So what is even the guarantee that Atiku will get
the ticket
with people like Makinde, Bala from Adamawa, with all of them set to make sure that is he the only one? Did they create this party for him? Why must he always be the one that gets our presidential ticket? So I think that
really unlikely
at this stage. I want to see a kind of rotatory presidency in our country. And in 2006, that idea came up. But because Obasanjo was seeking third term, all of the suggestions were thrown away. People were not ready to take that risk and allow the man to get a third term. Because they knew that if he got a third term, he would ask for fourth term. If he got a fourth term, he would ask for a fifth term. They didn't trust him sufficiently to take that risk.
No, he's denying that they didn't ask for third term.
Well, all of the closest people to him, beginning with what's his name? El-Rufai. El-Rufai was so close to Obasanjo that at a point when he came to the news where I used to work, he said if Obasanjo had a choice to make between him and his son Gbenga, Obasanjo would pick him ahead of his son.
Really?
This is not what they told me. I had him like this saying it. So they were that close. He was a star of the government. And in his book, The Accidental Public Servant, he wrote it there in black and white, that indeed,
of course, that was third term.
Not only that, this man that died, the former deputy Senate president, there's
Sungina. No.
Ibrahim Mantu.
Mantu also said it.
Yeah.
That yes,
No, because I'm aware of that. I'm aware of the
yes, now you were in government now. You were in government. So the thing is, but we are just saying.
Confirmed that there was a third time.
Yes, we knew. Look, even the Senate president then came and had a meeting with us. NAB, all of us, NAB.
Yes.
All of us, journalists at that time, you know, Kenneth Okonkwwo met with us at a hotel. He cannot deny.
No,
he told us there was a plan. He asked us to advise him.
Yes, that was the third time.
Senate President Kenneth Okonkwwo, I'm saying it publicly now.
That was a third time plot.
And we advised him, we told him what to do. It was what we told him to do that he implemented. Is it because we don't say everything on TV?
All right, gents.
PANDEF is now saying, look, don't try also remove our state. We don't want to be among Biafra. We are Nigeria. You are there sleeping. You don't know what's happening. They are not helping you out. If you say you should pay tight now for this humanitarian duty, if you say you should pay tight now for this selfless duty that we are performing on your behalf, you'll be doing a lot of fish. Drop something there. You getting it? Before you go wake up one day and they will announce that, look, your community is one of the community of Biafra. Are you getting it? Be appreciative. We are doing our best to cover you up. Show love.